Hi there, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about pivot points, how to snap objects and few useful settings too, which is going to be extremely helpful with all of your modeling and other works in Maya in your practices. So without further delay, let's get started. So here for demonstrating snapping process, we are going to choose one of the models models here inside poly modeling itself. Here let's choose this cylinder. So here left click on this, the cylinder will appear and press W. So if you press W, the translations gizmo will appear. You can see. So first of all, what is pivot? Pivot is a point where the objects can be modified from. So here by default pivot of any object is remains in center. You can see if you going to move it, if you're going to rotate it, if you're going to scale it, so anything you will do, it will be affect from its center point. So what if I don't want it to be rotated from the center? How this is going to useful when you need to change the pivot? Sometimes, many times actually, when you want to draw some door handles, hinges that has to be snapped from the corner of it. So we change pivot all the time. So now let's go like how and how many types of snapping we can do. We will learn here. Okay. So over here in the self, my cursor you can see on the top of this menu, there are few options available here. The first one is the grid snap. So grid snap, what is grid snap? This is the grid. If the visibility of grid, we can turn on and off. So this is a grid. And if we want something to be properly placed in this point of the grid, so press X button. X button is shortcut. You can say the center is changing. When I press X, then it's become a rounder. When we leave it, and it's gone, it's become square now by default. So if you press X, you will see this will on and off, this will on and off. If you press X, leave X, this will on and off. Or if we just click it, it will be permanently on, the snap grid will on. So if you click it, so it will move like it is snapping per per on the grid, like per units. So any axis, if you want it, if you drag it at this like center, it will go. If you want in a particular axis, this is a grid snap. The whole object grid snap is happening. So if we can click it here and turn off it. So now we can go on the second. This is uh, we can call it curve snap. So for curve snap, we need to have some curve. We will go to this curve surface, click the first one. We will take the circle for here example. Come here, select this, press curve snap, click it. Now if we get the center, if we come here, so you need to press C over here. So if we click here and come and like put the cursor over here, you can see this is snapping through curve. If you want to see it, press this button, X-ray button, click it. Now you see how its pivot or this object is snapping around the circle. So this is curve snap. Turn it off. Now option third option is this point snap. So how point snap will work? Get another object, turn off the X-ray mode so we can see it properly. If you want to see the edges on the object, come up here. You see this wireframe on shaded mode. Click over here. You can, if you deselect it, you can see we can see edges on the object. So click there. Curve snap, turn it off. This is a vertex snap. We will see that what vertex snap is doing. Click it over here. Just middle mouse, drag and you can see it is snapping through all the nearest vertex wherever you put your cursor. If the vertex snap is on, see the center point is 0. If you turn it off, it is now in square shape. So yeah, to activate it, click it over here. When this round, then middle mouse, drag it over here. It will snap through all the nearest vertexes one by one wherever you hover your mouse by dragging and clicking on the middle mouse button. So turn it off. Now the shortcut for this vertex snap is V. Press V. You can see it's on. You can see it's here is 0. So press V, middle mouse, drag. So now the one axis is selected, Z axis is selected. The axis selected axis becomes yellow color. That means that axis is selected. If you don't want this axis to be selected, if you want the center axis, then click on the center. Then all axis will be free up. Now press V, shortcut for word snap, V, middle mouse, drag. Anyway, middle mouse drag, it will snap to any of the vertexes. So now this is a third kind of projected center. This is useful when you want to project something exactly in the center of some object in the middle. So we use for many things, but the nearest thing I can think about it, we usually use for placing the skeleton joints in the mesh. It has to be in center in many places of the body. So just go to the X-ray mode, move it here. I am demonstrating it over the cube only. So it's here. Now if I want to place this cube exactly at the center of this mesh, and this mesh is somewhere in the space anywhere hovering, so just select this cube, come anywhere, or just like eyeball it in the viewport, turn on this option which is projected to center. This is project to center. See, the center part become round. That means this snapping option is on. Middle mouse, drag over here. So now wherever you drag your mouse, it will calculate this center from this part to the other part of the geometry where you have dragged, and it will put your object in the center. If you go to the X-ray mode, you can see this is we eyeballed our viewport to like this. So this is actually center of this. So yeah, this is useful for many cases. So if you want to place a center of any object to one object, either it is a geometry, either is some curve, or you want to place some joints in the center. So yeah, this will all be possible. So come here and you can see it's again is projected in the center. This is on. Now turn it off, clean our scene, delete it, put it all in the center. So delete this but curve now, and pull it out our cube outside, and we will going out of the X-ray mode. Just click this X-ray again and again, so X-ray will turn on and turn off. So yes. Now pivot points of this object, we can change the pivot of this object to what we were talking at the beginning of this video. How you can change for because it is in the center, but if you want into the corner, let's do this. So if you press D, just one click and leave it, you can see the gizmo has changed. It is brand new now. So if you press D again, it will turn off. If you press D on, is the pivot snapping is on, the pivot editable is on. Now you can change its edit is pivot. So again, if you want to place pivot somewhere in the outer space or somewhere here nearby, or you want to uh, place this pivot over in the cube, it's just manual placement, so it's not correct, but it's just for showing purpose I am showing you. So if you if you want to get out from this changing pivot mode, press D button again and it will go away. Now if you select this, you can see its gizmo is making somewhere else. Now move it from there. If you want to rotate, now you can see its pivot has changed. Now it is rotating from here. anything. If you rotate, if you want to rotate it, if you want to scale it, it will be affecting from this axis, this pivot. So this is also very useful thing. Please practice these things one by one. If you don't understand, go my video again and again and see what I have taught you here. If you don't understand, just put any comment and ask me. I'll explain you in more detail if you don't understand. Cool. So this is how you change any object pivots. Just select it, press D button once and drag it somewhere wherever you want to be its pivot to be. So now you can be here anywhere you want it, or now you can also snap your pivot. If you click here and for example, if you want to snap your pivot on the center of this or in the edge of this, just press D once. After that, just uh, keep pressing V, continue pressing V. Just by pressing V, don't leave it, and middle mouse drag over here, middle mouse drag over here, and your pivot will change. Press W going out of the editable mode of the pivot point changing, and or you can press D also. So you see now its pivot point is on the top of it and I snapped to the top vertex of it. So same thing you can do, press D, D, V, come here and leave the button. So if you want just temporary, just press D, don't leave it, again press V. So D and V both you have to play, both has to be pressed, don't leave both button. Then middle mouse drag at the any corner of it where you want to the pivot to be and leave it there. So it will be, the pivot will be changed also, and also it will come out from the uh, pivot changing mode. So now again the same thing we can apply, we can apply by edge, and edge snapping is C. So edge snapping is C. So press D, press V. Now go over any of the edge you want to snap it. So here, if I want to, okay, I'm sorry, I was pressing V. So D and C, of course. Now you see you can go over and snap it in the edge actually. So if you want this edge, D, C. If you want this edge, drag it over here. Now wherever you move your cursor, it will automatically set to this edge now, the pivot. If you leave it there, now your pivot will be here. So now it is changeable from here. So this thing you can do with any object, the polygon, the curves, anything. So this is very useful. So again, if you want to, same thing, again you want to change it and you want to make this as a, like if you made something here and you want its both pivots should be in the grid, just select it, D, X, and middle mouse drag on the grid wherever you want its pivot to be. And if you select both pivot will be changed simultaneously. If you select C one by one, now both pivots are on the grid. And we did the grid snap by pressing X button, or you can grid snap, do it from here up. Sorry, the first one, the grid snap, you can do it from here, the first option on the snapping options available here. So or you, so just for one more example, just press X only, and if you want to grid snap, middle mouse drag, it will go unit by unit. If you want to change its pivot and snap it to it on the subgrid, so D is changing its pivot, going to its editable mode of pivot, and then press X and put anywhere, and now it is changeable from that point. And now if you want again to reset its pivot, if you want, like you have done the all the necessary changes, whatever you want to do, you rotated, you scaled it, you modified this thing anywhere, any place. But now if you want to make it as at the center of its pivot, just select it, go to the menu, modify, and you can see under the pivot section, click on the center pivot. So what it will do, it will just calculate all over its vertices, how much the bounding box it will fit the average, and it will do the average of it and put the center of the of that object its pivot point. So same thing goes with it. We didn't modify anything, so it will be coming accurate at the center of it. If you go here again, modify, under pivot, click on the center pivot. Now you can see it's perfectly at the center of this object because we didn't modify this object, so it's picking a perfect center how it was in default, but we modify this object, we change its shape, so that's why its center pivot is little outside. So, and this one last tip, this is the background of the screen. If you want to change it, its shortcut is Alt plus B. Single click, change the background. Again, Alt B, change it. This is Maya was coming before in this background itself. Now they changed it to something like this color. So is this changeable? Yes, press Alt B. Again, 3 4 background will come, black, dark gray, light gray, and this gradient, blue and gray gradient. So whichever background you like, so you can change it by pressing Alt and B. Yes, guys. So this concludes this lesson. If you have any doubts, if you have any suggestions, if you have anything, please rewatch this video again. And again, if you want to ask anything, please go in the comment section, comment me. If you want to give some suggestions, if you want to know more something about it, if you want some more clearance in it, uh, please comment. So, all right then, this is all for this video. Thanks a lot. Take care and bye bye.